Hi, welcome to XCOM Impossible. It's not Iron Man. I'm starting in North America. It's not Iron Man, but I'm applying somewhat like Iron Man rules. I don't save during combat. The only time I'll restart a fight is if everyone dies. And that's happened once. I'll point out which mission it happened on. I've also been watching Beagle Rush's videos, which are super useful. He's doing an Iron Man walkthrough. I'll link them in the description. But my first move is generally a dash, just because I like to keep things scary and risky. And I'm heading around the flank. I want to head to this truck here and take it for cover. I don't want to head into the building, because that tends to be where all the aliens are, and that was actually a really stupid move, lining them up like that. But I was afraid there might be some people behind the truck as well. Fortunately there weren't, and now I've managed to get around the back of the building. And the general rule with buildings in XCOM is the backs have very few windows and often good entry points for doors or a ladder. And sure enough, this one has a ladder. So given that these guys are rookies, their aim is rubbish, and they're going to panic at the sight of an alien breaking wind, I want to get them up high and give them some vertical superiority as quickly as possible. So heading over here, keeping them clubbed together and just following the sound to try and work out where these guys might be. And sure enough, wouldn't you know, I don't uncover 3 or 2 at once, but get 5. And on this first level there are only 8 in total, so that's over half of them blown away. Or not blown away, but revealed. They obviously scamper to cover, and I've got a 65% chance of hitting from up here, but no bones. Lopez moves in for another shot here, and he has about as much luck as the first guy whose name I've forgotten. Meta comes up here. He takes a shot at this guy with a 65% chance and gets 3 out of 4 points of damage. And finally Johnson has another miss, so that's a pretty bad opening salvo. 1 hit and not even a kill. The aliens, as you'd expect, scamper from cover to cover. They do a bit of mind melding, but strangely they don't shoot back. I tried to shoot at this guy with 65% and managed to take him down against all odds. This guy comes around, Johnson, and he's got 65 on both of these guys, so I figure I'll go for the guy further back. But that proves, well, I mean, not awful, but it's not a hit either. This guy I'm flanked on, so that's a much easier opportunity to kill. I noticed the flank when I was running past with Johnson, so Lopez gets a kill. Lopez goes for a kill here, but gets 3 out of 4 damage. I should really be going for the guy who was mind melding, but at this point it doesn't really matter. He heals him up, who then takes a shot this way. Fortunately it misses. High ground again working in my favour despite the low cover. It effectively makes it high cover, which is good. I've got a 45% chance to hit that guy, so I go for it there, and I figure if I can kill the guy who's doing the mind meld, the other guy will go down too. So I bring Meta in a little closer, again with a 45% chance, and hope for the best. It's basically 50-50, 45%, and it manages to take him out and the guy that he is overwatching. So that's 4 of the initial 5 down, with no damage even. I'm pretty sure the last 3 are inside the building. And so I pull these guys back, trying to listen for alien sign to work out where I want to be going next. So not much happens for a bit. I kind of end up spreading these guys out onto this wall here, hoping that that sound there means an alien's coming, and sure enough, there he is. 2 reaction shots missed, the third hits for 2, and the fourth, what does it do? Hits and kills. So that's all 5 of the initial aliens down that were revealed. Now I faff for a little bit on the roof, not knowing quite what to do. I figure these guys are inside the building, but I just want to make sure that I don't drop down and get any nasty surprises. So I put 1 to every corner, just to make sure. And given the way the sounds are happening, when I was over at the front of the building they were coming from the back, now I'm at the back, they're coming from the front, so I'm fairly confident, yeah, they're in there. So I send Meta down to have a look through the window, and sure enough, there are the last 3. They scamper for cover, and so I put everyone on Overwatch after a little bit of moving, hoping to get some easy shooting in, and then bring Lopez back towards the middle, and then run Meta back here into full cover, hoping he won't get shot this round. Sure enough, Alien scampers out there. I do a weird side shoot with my gun where the bullets come out perpendicular to the barrel, but and hit for 2. That leaves Meta wide open, but rather than just take the shot there, I figure add some height into the mix along with some cover and an 85% chance to hit. Still fails, so that's a miss. I bring Johnson over. He lays down some more damage, but only manages to score another 2 points, leaving the Alien with 1 health. Bring Olsen round to get some visibility on the front, where I think the other 2 aliens are scampering, skittering around. And then this guy takes some cover and shoots up here and panics Meta. Now, that's not the end of the world. I can deal with panics unless they start shooting at each other, and in fact what he does is return fire and kills the guy, which works out brilliantly. So now I'm down to 2 guys. And so I take Overwatch here, hoping they will reveal themselves. But not much really happens for a little while. And now that sound there will be important. You can see there's one over that way somewhere, and there's another one down here. Meta takes a reaction shot. He gets hits for 2, which is good news. But Alien returns fire and critically wounds Meta, which is giving me 3 rounds to mop up the last 2 aliens. This guy panics and hunkers down, the useless thing. But it's better than shooting at his friends. I can fire here and manage to get a kill on the unflanked alien. He's standing there by the side. Now I've just got 1 guy left to get. Now this is where it gets a bit hairy. I know he's there somewhere, and so I drop him down, hoping that I'll be somewhere near the alien, and sure enough, there he is. I fire. I've got 88% chance to hit, and manage to get 3 damage. That leaves the alien in the open, and I figure I'd just best dash the other guys down. I hadn't really thought this through brilliantly at this point, but this guy comes round and goes for an attack on my guy here, who gets 3 damage, which could be worse. He could have killed him outright. Johnson. And so Olsen moves in for a point-blank takedown to wrap up the battle. There we go. To wrap up the battle, and everyone gets home fine. And Olsen earned a promotion right at the end. So we take the Sky Ranger back to base, and 3 promotions are awarded. We've got an assault, support, and a sniper. The assault gets a large machine gun, the support gets smoke grenades, and the sniper obviously gets a sniper rifle. But the snipers are not great until they hit level 2. I research alien materials or weapon fragments? Weapon fragments, because I figure they're used... well, actually, I don't know what I'm thinking, I'll be honest. I don't know the research tree very well. And then I start the scan for activity. On the 3rd of March, quite early, I get an abduction. And abduction's an impossible suck. Any that you don't take will result in panic in all the other countries. The only guy who survived or who is healthy is the sniper, so I dress him up because he's earned a promotion. I give him a nice hat and sunglasses and a shiny red outfit. And the rest are rookies. And the dressing up is kind of fun, but it also helps me differentiate visually in the field which ones are which. So our abduction mission here. This one is a bit of a nightmare. You'll see here we've got a somewhat open courtyard. There's not much cover in either direction, or not, at least not much hard cover, and not having hard cover in this game can really come to bite you. So once again, my first move's a dash. I send my sniper down this way in the hope that I'll uncover some sort of cover. I don't want to head too far into the courtyard, because I'm pretty sure there are going to be aliens scrabbling around there, and sure enough there's a van with some hard cover, and a window is there with some visibility into this hut. I was hoping to sneak around the full side of the building, round to the back where there would have been no windows at all, and just a couple of doors in, which would have been a great entry point. But unfortunately they spot me from there, and it's not just 2 or 3, I think we revealed 5 in the end. So then it's a mad dash for cover. I put that chap there, Olsen, Lopez, who hasn't earned his promotion, Barnes and Diallo come up to hide behind this van, and Diallo is slightly exposed, so I hunker her down in the hope that she won't get shot this round. There's a sneaky guy there who's burst through the door and gone on to Overwatch, which is going to severely limit my ability to move. Olsen takes some fire, but it's only 2 points of damage. Second or third round, it's not brilliant, but worse things could happen. He's got a pistol, which is not great, and I figure I'll move him there and put him into Overwatch with the pistol, because if anyone comes around the corner at close range, the sniper rifle is pretty much guaranteed to miss. I send a grenade in there hoping to blow away the wall, but it does very little. It blows out the windows, the wall stays intact. Barnes comes around to go Overwatch, and Diallo stays Overwatch there, and Alien, the one I guess on Overwatch, peeps around the corner, and one of them kills it. I'm guessing it wasn't Olsen, since he can only do 2 damage with his pistol. The aliens faff around for a bit, they mind meld, and then this guy skitters around here for some reason, but runs out of moves. So they miss Lopez, thank Jiminy. And I bring Lopez up for a point blank on this fella. 100% hit, 60% critical. He's got 5 health, but I figure worst case scenario, Olsen can follow up. However, he gets 6 damage and a critical. So that's 2 aliens down now. I don't want to get into just a firefight where we're exchanging fire, because these guys are more accurate, and even in heavy cover, it rarely ends well. They'll tend to finish me off. So Overwatch where possible. And hunker down when I know that I'm going to get a shot, or just break line of sight is really the key. Fortunately there was a miss there and another miss, but the plasma pistols apparently will blow out the wall cover even though my grenades won't. I'm still not sure what to do with Olsen, so I move him up to try and see what's what and end up uncovering 2 more aliens. Things are not good. So we've got 5 aliens here, and I'm trying for a sneaky grenade here, but it's obviously not going to work. Sometimes the game's a little bit glitchy and you can get away with putting a grenade through a wall, but not in this case. So I run him well out of line of sight, forcing the aliens to come to me, and bring Lopez up with covering fire if an alien pops through the door. Barnes and Diallo hunker down for the night. Well, Barnes does. Diallo runs around here because I figure it's not going to end well if we're just being shot at in the van. So they do a bit of mind merging, as you can see, and not much else. They don't get a shot in, and I take a little while to work out what to do here. An alien has popped his head out running for Diallo, and so I bring Lopez up for a flanked attack on this guy and manage to take him down against all odds. I get some very lucky rolls in this fight. I hunker down Diallo again, hunker down Barnes again, send Diallo up along the wall, and now I'm figuring I'll send Olsen in for a grenade. But I don't want to rush him in case these guys are all over me, so I put him on Overwatch for the time being. He misses, I think. Pretty solid miss. Oh no, he hits for 1 there on a guy who comes skittering through the wall, but they heal him up pretty quickly. Now there are 3 guys in here, and I've got 2 guys within grenade range. So I figure the right thing to do is to bring Olsen up here and toss a grenade into this pack, blowing away the cover and giving them all 3 damage there, and I just managed to clip them all with a single grenade. So that works out very nicely indeed. And then Diallo comes around here to take cover on the other side and tosses a grenade. There's Overwatch there, and she takes a bit of damage. Thank goodness she doesn't panic and it's only 2. I should have really considered that one of them might be on Overwatch. But at this point I was just so focused on a 3 kill that I stopped thinking. Anyway, I lucked out. The 2 guys at the back have taken 2 damage each. The 2 guys at the front are on full health. I take a risky shot here and actually end up with a worse chance to hit from where I moved to. 31 versus 25. And so it's down to Lopez to do a point blank face smash there. And fortunately it's another crit for 6 and I take him down with prejudice. Now it's just a question of backing up, reloading, and taking my time to prepare for the next set of aliens. I figure they might be in that room given where the sound was coming from, but I don't see them immediately, despite poking my head around the window. And I move these guys up. I'm thinking I will come around to the left and head through the building. What I really probably should have done is headed around the right hand side so that I had a pincer and a potential flank. But it works out just about okay. I send Barnes up that way. Diallo is still here checking out the situation, and she runs up here and then pops these 3 aliens, which I'm pretty sure are the last 3 at this point. They obviously scramble for cover and they're bagged in pretty tight, but Diallo is behind heavy cover, so I think I'm doing okay. I run these guys up to take position in the building, hoping to come around from the right after I see what the aliens are doing. She hasn't got much of a chance to hit, but I risk it anyway. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. No, sorry, I don't. I hunker down. I thought I hunkered down. I was surprised when the mouse hovered over it. Hoping that she'll act as bait. I don't quite know why I bring Lopez back on Overwatch there. I should have left him where he was, but that ominous door opening means that sure enough, Diallo is going to get shot at, but being hunkered down helps her immensely. I advance Lopez in a second, but first of all clear Diallo out, because she is obviously being shot at, and I'm hoping to tempt this alien fella out into my Overwatch room of death. As it is, I flank Diallo round to get a shot on this guy, but first of all I figure I will move Barnes up to take a shot here with 100% guarantee, and Diallo can be my backup. I should have really done it the other way around, let Diallo shoot first and had Barnes as my backup, given that it's 175, but I've still got options at this point. So I take a shot and luckily take that guy down, meaning that Olsen can come around and get a 98% chance to hit with the rifle, although it's never going to kill him outright. It gets 3 damage even with a critical. And then it's just a question of running Lopez up and hoping that I manage to take the last point of health off him there with 93% chance, and sure enough I do. Although the odds could have gone terribly against me there. I should have maybe used a grenade to be safe, although he'd already used it. Anyway, moving them around here and proceeding slowly, looking for the last guy, who there, judging by the sound, is on the left, but actually it turns out he's there, of all places, over by Barnes on the right hand side. He makes a run for it, Overwatch fails. He shoots back but thankfully misses, because at that range that should have probably been a hit. I move Lopez round hoping for a flank shot, but don't move him far enough and he can't get an angle, and then figure I will move Diallo, just rush her in and hope that next round she's available. Now the sniper Olsen can make it into the room. He can get there, so he's going to be able to shoot there. And he gets hit for 2, which means that I can now rush Barnes in and do a point blank and pretty much be guaranteed to kill him. At point blank it seems unlikely I'll only do 1 damage. And sure enough that works. So mission wrapped up. A couple of guys took damage but nothing critical. Lopez gets promoted to assault. Barnes gets promoted to a heavy. And Diallo gets promoted to support, but she's wounded and out for 9 days, as is Olsen the sniper. It's also time to build a workshop, so I build that, and they very nicely already excavated on the right hand side for me. I didn't have to do anything there. And so go back to scan, and you'll notice that I get the weapon fragments and for some reason click carry on and don't go to don't continue research. So another 2 days go by where I'm not researching anything before the UFO turns up. UFO goes down as you'd expect in the first contact, that's pretty much guaranteed. And here's my squad. I've got a heavy, assault, heavy, so it's time to dress them up. The heavies go in pink and the assault is yellow and orange, just again to help me visually differentiate them, and I painted the rookie's hair blue because why not. Then on to the crashed UFO. Now on the crashed UFO there's a couple of packs of 2 sectoids and an outsider. So there's only 5 guys to deal with here, but as you probably know from assault mission, from UFO missions, it's kind of wide open. The only heavy cover tends to be really big rocks and trees, and there's a lot of half cover around all over the place, which doesn't make for a happy day. And it's kind of quite a large map for a small UFO. I don't know, maybe they're always this large, I forget, but it seems bigger. Maybe it's just because it's on Impossible and everything seems a bit bigger and scarier on Impossible. Anyway, it's a dash to start as always. Well, I say always, it's just when there's no heavy cover nearby, I'll tend to dash for some. Which is probably pretty stupid and is probably going to bite me in the butt at some point. But we'll see. Anyway, there was some sound off there, and sure enough, 2 little sectoids come skittering around, and I've stupidly got Lopez on Overwatch with a shotgun, which is never going to work. So I pull him back, hoping to bait the sectoids in with my line of death there, but unfortunately, they don't come far enough to trigger Overwatch and shoot Barnes in the face. Barnes gets up and returns fire, squishing the sectoid in some style. So obviously she doesn't like being shot at. I remember to switch the pistol and go on to Overwatch here, and sure enough Lopez gets a reaction shot there, but misses pretty convincingly. Not that it would have killed the dude anyway. He's run out of moves for some reason, so I lay down fire. I'm hoping Barnes will have a repeat performance, and she does, but she only does 3 damage, unfortunately. So it is up to, I forget this dude's name, we'll check it next time, but he finishes him off. Lopez. Oh, is it Lopez? Okay. Hi, Lopez. So Lopez finishes him off. And Santiago makes a break. I figure I will try and come around to the right. The sounds have given away the fact that the skitters are over there. I'm calling them skitters. I've been watching too much Fallen Sky. Falling Skies? Anyway, that's kind of a fun alien show, if you like alien shows. It's a little bit drama, relationships, but there's also a lot of alien shooting, which is kind of awesome. So the aliens have revealed themselves, and it's time for me to find some heavy cover. There's not a lot of chance of hitting there, so I go on to Overwatch in the hope that this guy will move, but he doesn't. Fortunately, he does miss his shot. And then it's a question of another bait and switch. Putting these guys into Overwatch and hoping that the alien charges down into the corridor of death. Unfortunately, he refuses to. He's smart and he stays up there. So there's not a lot I can do to encourage him to come down. Again, a pistol Overwatch shot, but it's a pretty solid miss. Pistol's not being great. He returns fire. Fortunately, he misses too. I've got a 70% chance to hit there, so I figure I'll soften him up. But it only gets 1 damage, which is not great. I bring Barnes up around to the right, hoping to lay down some fire here, and sure enough, splut the alien in the face there. I think there's one more, and there we go, one more at this point. And then all we've got to deal with is the outsider. Well, I've got a 50% chance of hitting there, well 47, but 50 will do. Unfortunately, it misses. And then I figure, well, I can just finally shotgun, run and gun to get super close. But guess who forgot to press the run and gun button? So all I do is run up really, really close there. I can't click it, it won't work. Run up really close there and expose myself. So now I've got, I'm panicking a bit, and I've got not much I can do. I move her up in the hope of having a shot, but she can't see from there. So I figure, well, maybe I can get away with a grenade here and just catch the alien. So 1 grenade goes in and scoops him for 3. And then Barnes chucks the other grenade and hits him for the other 3, narrowly missing Lopez. Boom! And that alien gets blown back, but that was one of my stupidest moves. Not hitting run and gun, not very clever. Anyway, then it's just time to move up towards the UFO, taking it easy, staying in high cover, because the outsider, when he appears, is a viciously good shot. He's got a light plasma rifle, so he does about as much damage as a thin man, which can be brutal on an underpowered squad with basic armor. Lopez takes an opportunity shot, but convincingly misses. And then I send Lopez into that's Lopez. Who's the other guy? I send Lopez into Overwatch, but I should have. It was foolish. I should have moved him. Oh, that's Meta. Okay, sorry, I've been calling him Lopez all along. I move Meta up here because now Lopez is bleeding out. I've got 3 turns to cover him, and I've got a flank shot here, so with a 57% chance to hit, which isn't much better. All I really do is succeed in blowing up a flight computer. Kind of stupid. Anyway, I bring Santiago around. She's got a 35% chance to hit, not flanking, and she shows him how to do it with a 4 or a 5 damage. I think 4. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill the outsider. And the Meta takes 4 damage, and I think he's panicked. No, he's not panicked, okay. So I bring Santiago around again to take another shot. She misses, so apparently being flanked on this guy is not the way to do it. I move Barnes up to take another shot. Here, she misses as well, which just leaves me Meta, who I move into cover before firing at the outsider, and here we go. He is now down. Fortunately, the bullets somehow miss Santiago. I think friendly fire switched off, and I just managed to get out without Lopez bleeding out. Barnes gets a promotion to Corporal, so Bullet Swarm is the order of the day. Hollow targeting is kind of okay, but I realised that unless you've got a full squad of 6, it doesn't actually help much. Your odds are better if you can just take another shot. Then I finally realise I'm not researching anything and set up beam weapons, and you can see there my entire squadron is wounded and out for the count. So, then it's a question of selling everything I've got to try and make 313 credits, because if I do that I can afford 4 satellites and an uplink, which will allow me to kill all the panic that's been generated this month. So everything has worked in my favour against all odds. The timing's been perfect. So I go back, and there's the workshop completed. So I've now got enough engineers to build the uplink, and it's back to scanning for activity. Now scanning, not much happens for a little bit, and then another abduction turns up. With the abductions there are no good rewards. It's money, scientists, or a new heavy. I've got a couple of heavies already. I don't really need scientists. What I need right now is money, having just sold everything. Although maybe I should have taken scientists. Anyway, I set the squad up. Enough people have returned now that I'm just down to 1 rookie. I've got a sniper and a couple of supports, so I colour them up. Blues for supports, and prepare to head out for the next mission, Operation Silent Mountain. Anyway, I will put that in the next video, so for the time being, lots of love, bye!